Bruce Dickinson, forged in fire and iron. Alright, picture this: one man, one voice, and that voice alone can shake a stadium to its foundation. He flies a Boeing 757. He fences at a national level. He gets a cancer diagnosis, goes through 9 weeks of hell, and then stands in front of 80,000 screaming fans like nothing happened. That man is Bruce Dickinson. And what you are about to hear is not just a rock story. It is the story of a human being who refused to break. So strap in. We're going deep. 10 minutes, one legend. Let's go. August 7th, 1958, Worksop, Nottinghamshire, England. A small grey working class town. A boy is born. Nobody in that town could have guessed that this kid would one day headline festivals across 6 continents, pilot his own jumbo jet, survive throat cancer, and go down as one of the greatest voices in the history of heavy metal. But that's exactly what happened. Here's the thing about Bruce's early life that most people skip over. It wasn't pretty. When he was 8 years old, his parents sent him to live with his grandparents. 8 years old. That kind of displacement leaves a mark. Instead of letting it crush him, young Bruce buried himself in books and music. Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, these were his escape hatches. And then in 1973, something clicked. He saw Ian Gillan perform live with Deep Purple. And right there, in that crowd, he made a decision that would change everything. He was going to do that. Whatever that was, he was going to do it. He went to university, Sheffield Hallam, studying history. But music was always louder than any lecture. He started fronting a band called Samson in 1979. Samson was a proper heavy metal outfit in the British scene. Tight, loud, dangerous. Bruce wasn't just singing, he was commanding. He had this stage presence that made you feel like the room wasn't big enough to contain him. But Samson was just the training ground. 1981. This is the moment. Iron Maiden, already one of the most electrifying bands in British metal, needed a new vocalist. Paul Di'Anno was out, and someone made a phone call that would change rock history forever. Bruce Dickinson walked into that audition, and the second he opened his mouth, it was over. Done. The job was his. From that moment, Iron Maiden stopped being a great band and started becoming a phenomenon. Bruce brought a vocal range that was almost inhuman. 8 octaves, power, precision, drama. He brought theatrical energy. He brought intelligence. Suddenly, Iron Maiden wasn't just a metal band. It was an event. 1982. The number of the beast drops, and the world loses its mind. Critics clutched their pearls. Parents wrote letters of complaint. Religious groups called it dangerous. And none of that mattered, because the album sold millions and put British heavy metal on the global map. Run to the Hills. That riff, that gallop, that sheer unstoppable momentum. The number of the beast, chilling narration, massive chorus, and then there's Hallowed Be Thy Name, a song written from the perspective of a condemned man moments before execution. The melody builds, the despair is real, the acceptance is devastating. Bruce sings it like he's actually standing at the gallows. That performance is not singing, that is channeling. That song alone would cement his place in rock history. 1983, Peace of Mind, They Come Back Harder, Flight of Icarus, The Trooper. Bruce's voice gets even bigger. His stage persona becomes almost mythological. He dresses as soldiers, demons, medieval warriors. He runs across the stage like he's trying to outrun the music, and somehow the music is always just a step behind. 1984, Powerslave. This album is a monument. Egyptian artwork, ancient mythology, epic storytelling. Aces High opens with that Churchill speech and then just explodes. 2 minutes to midnight, dark, groovy, politically furious. And then, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, 13 and a half minutes, based on Samuel Taylor Coleridge's poem. Orchestral passages, haunting midsection, thunderous conclusion. This is a band telling the world, heavy metal is not a genre. It is a language, and Bruce Dickinson was its most eloquent speaker. Then 1990 rolls in, and something shifts. The no prayer for the dying period, the fear of the dark era. Bruce is growing, creatively, musically, personally. He's writing solo material on the side, and in 1993, he makes the call. He leaves Iron Maiden. The music press goes absolutely nuts. Fans are devastated. People act like it's the end of something. But Bruce Dickinson doesn't do endings. He does reinventions. His solo albums through the 90s are genuinely stunning. tattooed millionaire, glam-tinged fun, radio-friendly, balls to Picasso, darker, more experimental, accident of birth, reuniting with Adrian Smith, going heavier, going deeper, and then, in 1998, The Chemical Wedding. This album is a beast. William Blake imagery, occult philosophy, dense literary references, and some of the heaviest, most complex music he's ever made. Critics called it his masterpiece. They weren't wrong. Meanwhile, Bruce isn't just being a musician. He's becoming something much harder to define. He trains as a commercial airline pilot, gets his license, becomes a proper working professional pilot. He starts flying for an airline called Astraeus. Cardiff Aviation, a maintenance company, takes him on as a director. And when Iron Maiden needs to get their crew and equipment across the planet for world tours, who's flying the Boeing 757? Bruce Dickinson. Captain Bruce Dickinson. The man singing about the ancient mariner is literally navigating the skies. And we're not done. National level fencer, brewing entrepreneur, trooper, and the Wicker Man. Ales, in collaboration with Robinson's Brewery. Radio presenter on BBC, novelist, screenwriter. He wrote a film called Chemical Wedding, based loosely on occultist Aleister Crowley. This man operates on a frequency that most people cannot even perceive. And then 2015 arrives, and life throws the ultimate test. Bruce Dickinson is diagnosed with tongue cancer, a tumor at the base of his tongue with spread to a lymph node in his neck. The medical team is serious. This is not a scare. This is the real thing. He undergoes 9 weeks of intensive radiation and chemotherapy. For the duration of treatment, swallowing is agony. He loses weight, he loses energy, and he faces the possibility, the very real possibility, that the voice that has defined his life might not come back. He doesn't tell the public right away. He processes it. He goes through the fire. And when he comes out the other side, the tumor is 80% gone. By May 2015, he's declared cancer-free. And 3 months later, he's back on the Book of Souls World Tour. 80,000 people at Rock in Rio. The lights go down, the intro plays, and Bruce Dickinson opens his mouth and sings. And the entire crowd erupts, not just because the tour is starting, but because everyone in that field knows what this man just walked through. Iron Maiden's legacy in music is frankly staggering. Over 100 million albums sold across a 40-year-plus career. Bands like Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold, Trivium, Bullet for My Valentine. All of them point back to Iron Maiden as foundational. The mascot Eddie is one of the most recognizable images in rock history. The live show, the production, the theatrics, the sheer scale set a standard that almost no one has matched. And Bruce Dickinson is the heart of it. The fear of the dark moment, when he stops singing that opening riff and just holds the microphone out, and 80,000 people carry it without missing a beat. That is one of the most powerful moments in live music. Wembley Stadium, Rock in Rio, Download Festival, you name it. Every one of those moments belongs partly to Bruce. His legacy is not just music, it's a philosophy. It's the idea that you can be a metal vocalist, and a pilot, and a fencer, and an author, and a brewery owner, and a cancer survivor, and still have more chapters to write. He proved that the ceiling only exists in your imagination. In 2023, he received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Global Metal Music Awards. Iron Maiden was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Bruce accepted it in the most Bruce Dickinson way possible, with energy, with humor, and with the fire still burning in his eyes. He is 66 years old, and he is still touring, still writing, still flying, still swinging a sword if the occasion demands it. Bruce Dickinson did not become a legend because things went right. He became a legend because when things went catastrophically wrong, he got back up. Every single time. If this story moved you, hit that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. What's your all-time favorite Iron Maiden track? What moment in Bruce's story hit you the hardest? We read every single one. Share this video with someone who needs to hear a story about not giving up. Because that's ultimately what Bruce Dickinson's life is. An anthem for the ones who refuse to quit. See you in the next one. Keep the faith. Stay loud.